All right, we're back here at CPAC 2021 here in Dallas, Texas. Autry Pruitt joining me to talk about how to get out the African-American vote within the inner cities to vote towards conservative values and conservative candidates, which has been a huge issue for many years. I know that going into the Trump election back in 2016, it was pivotal that Trump won over a good percentage of African Americans, and really to break the myths of the conservative party that is told by a lot of the lies on the left that they're not wanted within our party.
That's right. The best way to do it is leading with what you said. You start in the community. That's what we do, actually. It starts a year and a half out. The problem with, like, the RNC, for example, is they want to drop in 2 or 3 months because their quote-unquote data tells them nobody's paying attention. That's not true. Every community has its own little sphere of influencers, right? So it could be a guy who owns a barber shop there that helps out individuals, and he knows 70 or 80 people. So maybe the 70, 80 people aren't listening, but he's listening all throughout the year. So what we do is we want to go into the communities and just help. What do you need help with? You need help with paperwork, college applications, loans. What can we help you with? We help. And then when the political season comes around, there are ears open for a message, and we're not brand new.
And we talked earlier about, do you have any advice for someone that is African American, Latino, that is conservative, but they want to try to do a little evangelism and go out there and pull people in, but sometimes that's hard to do. You got to have some talking points. You got to have some data to back your thoughts up. What's your advice for that?
What I've always done is I don't lead with politics.
Okay.
I don't lead with politics, right? So if it's a stranger, right, if it's someone I don't know, I definitely don't lead with politics. And oftentimes I need to meet them a couple of times before I can sort of begin to proselytize a conservative message. If it's someone you know, what I do is start off with questions like this: hey, you know me, you trust me, right? You know, I got your best interest. And you get buy-in. Yeah, I trust you. And say, well, listen, I just want to talk to you a little bit about who I'm voting for and why. Now, they might bring up Trump. They might bring up something. I just ignore all that.
Okay.
And by the way, I don't shoot them down. If they say, well, I think this is racist, that racist, I don't say, no, you're wrong. I say, okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's see what's racist about it. I never thought about it that way. Let's see what's racist about it.
Good point.
And I let them talk. And oftentimes, people talk themselves out of their own mentalness, and I don't have to pull them out. That's a short-term strategy that I do. But talk in the communities that you know and in the communities that you're in. I grew up with black people. I went to church with black folks. We moved to a white neighborhood eventually, but my church was all black. Every church I went to was all black, right? So I know black folks. So when I talk to them, I come from a more Christian perspective, right? Because I talk to them and I know. Right. And I've gotten a lot of converts that way, right?
Autry Pruitt joining us here at CPAC 2021, talking about getting out the black vote. Now, if we look forward to 2022, a lot of primaries, what are you guys doing now that a year from now, hopefully, some of those percentage points can go up? Because there's a misconception that candidates that are conservative need to get this huge amount of black vote, and that's not the case.
You're right. At the end of the day, this part is politics. We want 30 or 50%. We're striving for that, but you don't need it. These narrow margins are so thin, you're right. So what we're doing is we're using data to analyze specific neighborhoods, specific precincts, and say, where do we think the votes can move here? And it's about being able to say, we got 20 votes here, 30 votes here, 50 votes here. And by the way, door knocking, not slick advertisements. Now, if you go to NewJourneyPAC.org, we got plenty of them.
Let me stop right there. So that goes far. The impact of that is far greater than just a slick Instagram ad.
It is. The slick Instagram ad and the slick advertisements, they get you donors, they get you people up, but the door knocking gets you the votes. And by the way, door knocking with people in the neighborhood. So we found people in the neighborhood that converted over to Trump, for example, and they said, yeah, I'll walk my neighborhood. And we walked with them, and we saw the boys would knock, and they would say, well, why do you vote for Trump? Why? And they would have fancy answers and data points. They would just say, listen, we've been voting for these guys forever. Trump never was a racist before.
Sure.
Let's just give it a shot. I mean, the Democrats haven't given us anything. Let's give it a shot. Now, we give them some talking points, some things to think about, but the most effective thing is people in the neighborhood talking from their heart.
Yeah, I like that. How can more people right now watching us at home want more information about your organization and about how to get out and help the black vote get out to hopefully vote for conservative issues?
Well, to help our organizations, first of all, support organizations like Right Side Broadcasting.
Very kind to say that.
You have to do that. We need you guys in the field. NewJourneyPAC.org. NewJourneyPAC.org. Go there, donate, volunteer, ask us questions, and we'd be more than happy to respond.
And you're nationwide.
We're nationwide.
Okay, so no matter where you live, there is some type of organization.
We have people
everywhere.
everywhere.
Right.
People everywhere.
Audrey, God bless you.
God
and I
bless
think you
you.
might have the best suit on I've seen all day.
Thank you so much.
And of course, you spoke early, looked great on stage. And of
Thank
course,
you.
if you missed that broadcast, you can always go back and watch Audrey's speech later at the conclusion of today. CPAC 2021. Plenty more straight ahead. Stick around.